found some long lost road.
Yeah. 2016.
Floor is yours.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris.
I'm Caleb, and we're WaterWorks.
Okay, so imagine you're at practice in the midst of August on a 90-degree day, and on the turf it feels like it's 100, and your coach is making you run back and forth along the field. You're conditioning all practice long, and within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you drink your entire water bottle. So you see the multi-hose water stations already provided by the school, and you go over to have a drink, and you look down, and where the water line's connected, there's just dirty brown water that it's just sitting in. So unfortunately, you're so thirsty, so you have to take the hose and you sprinkle it out and you put it in your mouth, and it's warm and not refreshing. So our product is the product for you. It's a cooling and filtration system that attaches straight to the water line, and so automatically when the water comes out, it's cooled and filtered. This product is bought, schools can purchase our product and attach it to the water lines outside. At our school, there's about 3 to 4 like water stations outside, and like we noticed that there's a lot of new water stations inside the school, like where it purifies and like filters your water bottles. Like you can just put your water bottles down there now, like you know, new water stations, fountains. So we kind of realized that there's not really anything outside of the school that's doing this. So we think that maybe they should kind of focus on the outside of school because there's a lot of athletes outside that need the water too.
And then the problems with the water stations we already have outside is the water is warm, it's unfiltered. The athletes are starting to use substitutes, and some of them are being dehydrated because they don't even drink it.
So our customer segments, so we're selling to schools as a whole, so the schools can purchase them and then put them on their water lines. But the people that are going to be using the product are going to be the high school athletes, and in the U.S. alone, there are 7.8 million high school athletes. And the first couple years, we're going to target just the public high schools and middle schools in the Midwest. And we're also thinking about targeting the residential construction companies, because a lot of times when they're working on houses, the sinks and the faucets and stuff are demolished, so then they can just attach this to the water line because they're already in the ground and then just take their water and fill it up that way. So it's a clean source of water, and it's always cool.
And then our solution would be a cooling and filtration system that you put on the water line, which would be a filter, and on the inside would be wrapped with a cooling coil. And then we have a 12-month loyalty program that would be $10, and that would include filter replacements and repairs. So it would be $120 a year, and then you just attach it to the current water station. You can instantly use it. It's always available, and it's unlimited.
Our first competitor is the water stations that the Midwest high schools already have, and on average, there's 2 to 3 outside on the fields. And with the problem with these is they're not cold and they're not very sanitary.
This is kind of just like what they look like, most of them outside.
Our second competitor is the plastic water bottles, like Dasani, Ice Mountain, and Aquafina. With these, what the problem is, when the sun hits the water bottle, like it releases like toxins that are bad for you, and they get warm easily. And the Gatorade water jugs, they're filled with ice and water, but the ice melts and it turns into hot water. That's what we don't want.
Our unique value proposition is that the water will always be cold and it'll always be filtered, and there's always an unlimited supply because it's directly on the water line.
So the total available market in the United States, there's about 26 million middle schools and high schools. But our group kind of knew that that number wasn't attainable to get our product to all those people. So we decided to narrow it down and kind of just focus on the middle schools and high schools in the Midwest. And there are about 5 million just middle schools and high schools in the Midwest. These are all public schools, so we didn't really count in the private schools. So our market share would be about $60,000, and then our TAM total available market growth rate would be about 1.5 because everybody is going to school and there's all the time new schools being built or separate buildings being put onto already like original schools. And since we are targeting middle schools and high schools, they're rapidly growing. And our forecasted sales growth would be 6% because we're first just focusing on within the first couple of years just the Midwest. So there's schools everywhere, like everyone has to go to school pretty much. So once you go out of the Midwest, it's easy to capture more customer segments and stuff. Schools are all over the place. So our price per use is going to be $185.
This will be our estimated revenue for the first 5 years. From year 1, we're gonna look at around $60,000, but by year 5, we're looking at around $150,000. And this is our estimated profit, gross profit. We're gonna go from year 1 around $15,000, and at year 5 will be around $40,000.
And then this is our net income and net loss each year. We're gonna start about 8,000 and go up to about 27,000. So this is our financial model. This is just a regular filter right now that's out on the market. It's gonna look pretty much similar to this. It's gonna be like probably a bigger attachment because it's gonna attach to the water line itself. So it's going to be a water filter like that, and then the cooling coil is like this, and it's going to be wrapped inside the filter. So once the water hits it, it automatically is cooled. So the filtration system itself is about $18, and the cooling coil is about $100. We got this amount because filters go anywhere from about $10 to $300. So we wanted to stay kind of on the lower, cheaper cost side because there are so many water lines at the school. And then the cooling coil, we got $100 because this would be the same cooling coil that is in air conditioning units. And those usually are anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000, and we're using a much smaller portion of it. So we figured we were about 1/10 to 1/12 of the size, so that's how we got the $100. So constructing the product, to construct the filter, it's going to take, to put it on the water line, it's going to take about an hour to do, and that will be about $20 per labor cost and $10 per unit. And then to put the cooling coil inside the filter, it's going to take about half an hour. It just kind of fits right into the filter, and it's again going to be about $20 per labor unit and $10 per unit. So our total cost of goods sold is going to be about $138. And then we also have, like Caleb mentioned earlier, it's like a warranty/loyalty program. So it's $10 a month, so that makes it $120 a year. And it includes replacement filters. If anything happens to like the water line or something, we can come out and clean it for you guys or fix it. And we just recommend it because once you keep a filter usually lasts 6 to 12 months, so it's going to have to be replaced at least once or twice within the year. So it's definitely worth it, and we will put it in for free.
Our revenue streams will be selling the product itself and also our year loyalty program.
So our MVP, we're having a landing page, and it's just gonna cost us $50 because we're not gonna make our own website exactly. We're just gonna get the rights to use our name for the website. So that's the domain name is gonna be about $50. Business cards, 45. Email tests would be free. The 3D prototype is $190. About like $190. Social media, that's a free, and then flyers for school, which is $70. And then implementing our MVP would take about 3 months. So I broke each one down. So for the business cards, we figured it would be about $45. An average business card goes for about 15 cents per business card, and we're thinking about getting 300, so because we're selling to the schools directly, so maybe targeting around 300. So that would come out to about $45 for 300 cards. The email test is free. Our goal is to collect the response rate of the emails. We want about 300 to 500 email signups per year. Again, only 300 to 500 because the schools are the one who's purchasing this product. So our landing page is again $50 since we are not making our own. We're going through Weebly, but we're not making our own website completely. We're just getting the rights to use our name. So that's the domain name. And we want about 50 clicks a month, which is a little over 1 a day. So for the flyers for school, that's going to be about $70 because most flyers are about $10 for every 50 business flyers. So $10 for every 50. So we've said about 350, which is where we got that 7, and then we sent $70. So this is going to be about $190.50 to make this because most engineers to make a filter product is about $127 an hour. And so for the filter, it said earlier, I said it would take about an hour to make, and then the cooling will take about half an hour. So this will be about $190.50 for the hour and a half. So then social media is a great way to get our product out. It's free, and our goal is to have about 100 athletes following us on Twitter or Facebook or whatever the social media is, whether that be like full teams as a whole or whatever level, professional level, college level, just to get our word around, the word around. So we're asking for about $400. Again, the benefits is that it cools the waters, it filters the water, it's an unlimited supply, and it's eco-friendly unlike all the water bottles and other substitutes that people are using.
And if you want your athletes performing at their best, purchase our product, because water only works with us.
All right.
Okay, do you guys have any questions?
I do.
Okay,
You mentioned that the cooling system is similar to the air conditioning.
yes.
And air conditioning runs on electricity.
Well, this one is like it's similar, but so it doesn't have to run through electricity. A lot of times with like cooling inside, it just when it hits the water, it cools. Yeah, we haven't really done too much into that. So.
Have you tested it?
No, we have not tested it. We've called some distributors that make it. There's a company called Camco, and they sell their product at Walmart and stuff, so we called them, and they were kind of just telling us the prices that it costs, and we asked them if a cooling coil inside of it would be possible.
Teachers, please do not dismiss your classes until this announcement is over.
We'll wait till this stops.
In a few minutes, we will be giving the
Camco, and we kind of told them what we were thinking about doing, and we asked them if it's even possible to put something in there, and they told us that they're pretty sure that you can put some type of cooling coil in there. So that's why we were thinking that, and then that's also where we got like the $18 because Camco sells their product for $24.99 usually at Walmart and stuff for their filter itself. So we want it to be a little bit cheaper than that at $18. And then they told us that the cooling thing would be more expensive.
Are you making something or is it just products you're assembling?
We don't know if we're going to directly make it or like use two things already. We haven't really tested the product yet.
Because those are different pricings, right? If you're making something yourself versus if you're just buying commodity products to.
Right, well, as of right now, these prices are making it ourselves. So, because we have the engineer, which was like, there was like an engineer, we talked to, company's name, a basic engineer company that does assemble stuff like this, and they said it was $127 an hour to make a product like this. So then it takes an hour and a half to assemble, and that's where we got the $190.50.
So they're going to make a filter or something like that
and then like a coil inside of it that wraps in the inside. Yes.
So, in terms of you guys vetting your idea leading up to this point, was there interest? I mean, how did you gauge interest from whoever has budget, whether it's facilities or the school district or whoever would be the one with the money?
I think at our school, Mr. Cummings is the one who purchases this. We've gone downstairs and we talked to Mr. Manning, which is the athletic director, because at first we were thinking that maybe the athletic director would buy it since it's kind of for like the athletics. And he was kind of just telling us that the problems with, he told us there's some other problems with it and our problems are, what?
Like with it turning, with it not
Yeah.
being turned on all night and it would flood the field.
And he like says that it is a hassle that these athletes are bringing like plastic water bottles because they're leaving them on the fields and stuff. So then they have to go after practice, the coaches and stuff, and clean them up and stuff. So then we went downstairs to the like building classroom. I don't really know what it's called. And we talked to the teacher, and he told us that yeah, something like this he thinks could be made. So we kind of just talked to him about like the problem and stuff, and he was the one who actually told us that it was Mr. Cummings. And then Tuesday, Mr. Cummings actually came in and sat down and like listened to our product. So that's how we kind of got the word out to Chandra.
So was there interest from Mr. Cummings that he would be interested in investing in?
Yeah, he said he would be very interested because a lot of times he's already investing in these inside of school water stations, the ones that are like the new water stations down by the gym locker room and stuff. So he agrees that they should kind of focus it outside because a lot of times the kids are drinking more water outside than inside, and they're kind of focusing right now on the inside, while they should be doing something outside. Because yeah, he kind of.
And there's one filter for each station outside? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
and yeah, it can like connect to the water lines because the water lines are already in the ground. And we were talking to a lot of the coaches and stuff because they put a lot of times they put the stations in themselves because in the winter they obviously go like in the shed or whatever, and they even say like it's dirty, like they have to connect the hose like to the water line, and it's just laying in a pile of mud and stuff. So like even my experience, I've had to like take the nozzle and like spray it out, and you can see like the first couple things like a little like muddy and stuff, and then you just let it go and then you drink it. But it's still warm because like if it's 100 degrees outside, the water's still warm too. Like there's no way to cool it. It's not refreshing. So
Is that the same system in the school district to all the, I've never seen it other than the picture. All the schools have the same kind of water thing?
In the Midwest, yeah, the schools definitely in our district, and I've like visiting lacrosse fields, a lot of them are the same way. Yeah.
And that's 4, you said, 4 stations out there?
actually on average in the Midwest, we were kind of like looking around at schools. Usually they have about 2 to 3. Our school has a little more. Our school I think has 4. Because we have like, the baseball, the JV, blah, 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 all those fields. So I think our school has like 4, but on average there's about 2 to 3.
The prototype, you have somebody who would make that if you got the money to do that?
We've talked to, like I said, I don't remember the engineering, but we haven't really talked to them about constructing it. They just told us like their prices, and they would still need to do some more research into it and stuff. But they think, yeah, it would be $127 an hour to make it.
I've got another question.
Yeah.
I've heard that if you're suffering from like itch-off and so forth, you should not drink cold water because it contracts. That's why you put ice on your mouth. And it's better to have warm water.
I don't know exactly.
You might want to look into that.
Yeah,
Just, it's cooler,
right.
but, I found that out this last summer.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I just know that when I'm working out, I just like am dying for like
Yeah.
something cold because,
That's what you want, but
right.
inside, your body needs the warmer water.
In the worst case, you know that it's filtered ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So how about break it down, break down the
Okay.
400.
So I can go back up to.
And maybe in future, when you put the, okay, so this is the one.
Okay, so we said like the landing page. We said 50, but it's actually like $50 to $100 for just a domain name usually. So we kind of did on the cheaper side. Hopefully we can.
You'll have to time out. Domain names are $10, and I can prove it to you, so go ahead.
Okay, so the business cards, like I said, they're about 15 cents per card, and we're thinking about doing anywhere from 300 to 350. Right here we just have 300, so again, like 300 times
Could
the.
I make a suggestion?
Yes.
An earlier group had 500 cards for $10. And they could have it each your name, 125 with your name, like that. So you might want to check with them,
Where did you price that from?
I went online and I did the average cost, and then I went to the first, the website, and it said anywhere from 0.10 to 0.3, or 10 cents to 30 cents. So I did right in the middle.
Check out Vista Print.
That's what I was at
So I
actually.
don't know where you got the number. So go back to that.
Might be one or the other, the other group might have.
Maybe the other group might not have enough.
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine, we go with your one, but go back to other things, other pieces, right?
So
email is
that's a
free.
business card. The email test is free. 3D prototype, like I said, is $190.
So what does 3D mean?
It's kind of like, we don't know if it's exactly going to be working, but kind of get something where they could you guys can hold it and see exactly what it's going to look like.
So is it,
Like a model, yeah.
is it the 3D printing prototype, or I'm just trying to
No,
understand
it's just
what
like
it is?
an actual filter with a cooling coil inside. It may not work right now. It's not something that's designed to go out and work right away
So
once you put it on.
It could be a 3D print.
Yeah, it's just something that you guys can hold to see the exact size of it and stuff like that. And again, $190 and 50 cents because of the engineering group that we talked to said it would be about $127 an hour, and it takes an hour and a half to construct this product.
This is down to 50 cents, I don't know if we can give 50 cents.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, you rounded it all up.
Well, 190.50 is 127 times 1.5 for the hours.
I'm just trying to see if your math is right. It's 120 and 193, 55. So how do you get 400?
It actually comes out to 355, but we just figured to round it up to 400.
You didn't say that out here.
Yes, she did, she said
Yeah.
around
I said about 400. It
Okay.
does come out to 355 because the flyers for school again. I said to.
Right, but in future, when you show a page like that, you have to show this with the total,
Oh, okay.
because that's the total that you're asking for.
Yeah, for future lay it out, so
Okay.
if you see it broken down, all line items, and then with the total, it's just easier to
It should
glance.
match.
Okay.
Are we done? Okay.
Nice job.